think they are out of control, they'll actually vote conservative leader.
Quick thing to point out.
I first answer your question. Right, they'll actually vote conservative leader who are actually against refugee, right? So then they will like pull back from any, like they will might close the border, or they pull back from any like methods of helping refugees.
Okay, so
more refugees being fine. Yeah, sure.
If you're listening to my speech, that was a worst case scenario. So we already beat you in that context. So we beat you in every context. But not only that, you legitimize racism, backlash, and nationalism. Why? We already told you, government is the figurehead. Not only that, if you only let in a small percentage of refugees, you turn them into a minority. Who does alt-right conservatives love to attack? Minorities. So you're literally condemning them to a life of misery in your world.
Thank you. We're telling you that we actually minimize discrimination because when there's mass inflow of refugees all at once, we see people forming a xenophobia attitude because they're, please let me finish, because they have those two ethnicities, you have two totally different religion, culture, they cannot integrate. So we see if you have too much refugee flowing, people don't know how to react, and that's how discrimination forms. We believe accept like only a small amount of refugee at the same time, at one time, it will actually greatly minimize the discrimination because people can more easily adapt to like a new culture.
Can you please take into consideration that we said that the national division will exist in our world, and the only reason why there's a huge influx in your world is because there's restrictions?
We say that the reason why we have a huge influx in our world because refugees are unwilling to voluntarily distribute themselves and they're all going to one single country. It's not a problem of restrictions. Thank you.
Okay, are you seriously saying it's the refugees' fault that they couldn't naturally distribute themselves? You're saying someone who's been disenfranchised, oppressed, and attacked in their life, it's their fault they couldn't help themselves? It's completely ridiculous. Okay, so like, if right now in the current status quo, there's not every other country having open borders as you claim. First, all of them have restrictions. Germany is starting to bring back the restrictions. The reason why you legitimize racism and you bring in more
your argument, right? We already said, right? We also care about those refugees, and they also admit, right? Backlash will happen. There'll be more racial discrimination happening at the end of the day, right? Less refugees being saved. So please don't listen to them from like putting us like people who are racist, right? It's not.
Being discriminated and dying is a huge concept. In their world, the worst case is discriminating. In our world, the most common case is dying. Do you have a question?
So that's for us? Oh, that's for us.
All right, we're ready. Everyone ready? Time starts. Now, so I'd like to point out that my first speaker already talked about intervention, but also I want to let's look at who better wins this debate. So first, justification. We already told you this is our framing. If we win on justification, we win this debate. They have no engagement on that, so we can win on it alone. But not only that, what was their main theme? Slow and steady entrance. Yeah, you want to say that to someone who is being shot at, who just escaped oppression, political persecution, or gender discrimination? Yeah, go ahead, because you're only going to legitimize anti-Semitism in your world. But not only that, they can't quantify any of their impacts. Oh, Germany is being affected by such a large refugee influx. Is Germany a third world country? No, they're not. So we believe that entire impact is false. Second of all, let's look at their point on social backlash. It's like, oh, people will die more from discrimination than from a war. They can't quantify any of their impacts, which we have quantified our impacts. Thousands of people dying per day because of the war, so they lose on that impact too. So we win on all three of those. But also, they have not directly engaged on any of our economic points. I provide almost 5 different pieces of evidence on how the refugees are actually the ones that can drive developed countries' economy up. I already told you in my second speech that these developed countries, when these refugees work for them, actually have an incentive to help them. In their world, why in the world would a developed country like America spend billions of tax dollars to help some starving country in Africa knowing that they won't get anything out of it? That is their world. And we need to be practical, because what they're doing is the classic alt-right tone, saying like, oh, these refugees, they'll only bring more trouble than we asked for. But we were told you from speech 1, that's not true. One, they've lost on justification. So everything they've done is immoral. Two, they want to leave them out to die because they don't believe that they should accept refugees. So at the end of the day, Judge, all of our impacts outweigh, we win.
Today's debate, both words have three things. We both get economic benefits. We both fulfill obligation by taking refugees. We both have cultural diversity. But what differs us is on three cash points. Firstly, obligations. In today's debate, the opposition is asking us to defend those people who's fleeing from because of because of environmental disruptions. We proved to you how it have limited impacts because only a small portion of refugees they flee because of environmental disruptions. Also, we tell the economic impacts. Even though they mentioned several times about how refugees bring economic impacts, we tell you it applies on our side because we're still taking refugees at a pace. But toward the end of the debate, we believe our side is the one that actually benefits both parties. Why? Because we tell you that when a steady inflow of refugees will destroy the country's economy by stripping away their laborers, by stripping away their welfare. We see that happening in Germany and Italy. But the main problem with their case right now is because they don't have any evidence or any successful countries that's promoting a world in which no border. Because currently, a world without any quota social cannot exist at all. Third, our social backlash points. They twisted our arguments and saying that we're discriminating and we're spoiling our citizens to tolerate discrimination. However, we tell you that only when you're accepting the refugees at a pace the society can integrate, society can accept, instead of telling you culture or telling you language, we can therefore achieve long-term benefits so we can make sure that those people would not turn to more conservative leaders. We believe in today's debate, the opposition is proposing a pirate logic. They probably look strong in all those crossfires, they probably look persuasive. However, they're dodging analysis of racial discrimination. Well, they do not provide you any solid evidence and any feasible plan of how a world without any free borders does not exist. We believe today's debate should go for our side because we are actually decided to give you a realistic portrayal of the world that a necessary border should be in place in order to control the inflow of refugees and to benefit both parties. For all the reasons I was strongly propose. Thank you.